Hey folks, welcome to the next installment of Let's Play AGEOD's Civil War. So, I'm a genius. The last video I made got cut off on time. I have my recorder set to stop after a set amount of time. So, we're starting here in the next interturn. Um, I would have just let it go and started off with the next turn, except at least one exciting thing happened. The Confederates attacked Louisville again. I got to go and take a look and see who's in charge of that division, who's been defending it for so long. But in this case, that we lost 2644 men, but we've inflicted 6,000 casualties. So another great victory for us in Kentucky. Uh, we've taken a whole bunch of prisoners, and it looks like we had a few units routed, but they had more units routed. So this is all good with me. We're just inflicting more casualties in Kentucky. I'm going to end this and we'll see what else happens. Uh-oh. We have a big battle in New York City. This does not look good. Okay, we got routed in New York City, and it looks like they've taken it. Their 27,000 men overwhelmed our defenders, 6,000 men. We've lost just about all of them, and only inflicted 3,000 casualties. So that's a bad beat for us. We're going to have to take New York City back in a hurry. Gee, this stinks. All right, well, let's see what else we got to deal with. Yep, there's the end of New York City, the last bit of our men getting defeated. Now the Confederates hold New York City. Okay, that's the end of the interturn. Let me pause the video and take stock of what's going on, try to figure out how we're going to salvage this. All right, I'm back. So the problem we're facing here is those railroads that were cut in this media area. I have 3 divisions here under Franklin here in Philadelphia, and I don't feel like they're enough to come up here and really do a good job of trying to battle Joe Johnston and the forces in New York City. Even though they're probably exhausted after the battle in New York City, I still don't feel like these 3 divisions will be enough to attack with. The problem with these cut railroads is I can't get anybody else up in that region until this railroad's fixed. I had set this guy to fix it last turn, but I guess he needs one more turn to take care of it. So I don't see any way around it, but I just sort of need to organize this turn. So Erasmus Keyes, he's activated this turn. I'm going to send him to Lancaster. I'll railroad him there. And I think he gets there in time. I can't see if that's a 10 or a 6. It's a 6. All right. Then I won't send him all the way to Lancaster. I'm going to send Keyes here to York. And I'm going to send Kearney here to York. That's leaving the Harper's Ferry area just about undefended, but I don't feel like the Confederacy has many units they can attack there with, especially now in the wintertime. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm sending basically all 3 of these corps to York, and hopefully either attack here into Harrisburg and Lancaster, or more likely, once this rail network has been fixed, send them up this way towards New York City, joining these 3 divisions along the way to strengthen them up. So we'll have plenty of troops to handle all these threats, depending on what they do next, but I think we should be able to handle this. I'm going to take these boats that I had in the Chesapeake, and I'm going to move them up here to the lower bay just to try to maybe block Confederate supply from coming in there through the ocean, if that's even possible, and try to block them from escaping via the ocean. So I think that's all I'm going to do here. We'll have to wait one more turn to see if we can't trap some of these Confederate armies that are causing me trouble. Here, a little bit further west, let's give Thomas a rest and have him fix that railroad. We have Grant now here bolstering the defense of Louisville. We're giving Sherman a rest there in Cincinnati. Not much going on in Missouri as usual. Lyon continues to walk. He's starting to enter the swamp. It looks like it'll only take him 12 days to enter that region, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to have Hooker continue to move up here towards Jackson. Maybe we'll take that in about 3 turns, which would be great for Lyon, who's going to be relying on the supply he can get from this supply line when he reaches this region. So I think that's it for this turn. Let me pause it. We'll do the inner turn and see what happens. Okay, folks, I'm back. Here we are in the next turn. Let's see what I'm going to do. So Erasmus Keyes' core, he is not activated. I'm going to send him up to Cumberland. It'll take 17 days to get there. That's a bummer. I guess maybe I'll leave Keyes there. It takes him too long to get anywhere. Crittenden. So Crittenden's activated. And I believe I'm going to send Crittenden to attack Lancaster, which is where I'm going to send these 3 divisions under Franklin to join him there. So that's Crittenden. So Crittenden's activated. I'm sending him there. Keyes is not activated. Kearney is activated, so him I'm going to send off to Cumberland. So I'm leaving 1 corps here. I'm sending 1 to attack Lancaster and 1 to attack Cumberland. And I'm hoping that the turn after that, both of those corps can then descend onto Harrisburg and push him out of there. When we've got this area cleaned up, I think then after that I'm going to turn and take New York City back. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm just going to let them sit in New York City for a short while. If they want to try to bust out, well, we'll just defeat them into whatever direction they run to. Meanwhile, we know Beauregard is holed up somewhere over here, unless he disembarked and made it back into Virginia. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all that's going on in this area. Things are a lot better now that we fixed these rails here. Let's see. Moving west, Thomas continues to besiege Madison. It looks like there's not a very strong unit in Madison, so let's just go ahead and take it now. I'll leave Sherman rest there, and I'm going to leave Grant rest here. Some small cavalry unit is besieging New Albany, but it's a weak unit. I'm not terribly afraid of it. Moving farther west, nothing going on in Missouri. Looks like it'll take Lyon 2 turns across the Mississippi. That's fine by me. It looks like his supply wagons are still full. And Joe Johnson, I'm moving up into the region next to Jackson, so maybe sooner rather than later we'll have taken Jackson. A very small unit has appeared here in Springfield. I don't think he's any threat. I don't know what the unit's made up of. It looks like it's just a small infantry or a small cavalry unit. And I think that's all that's going on. So here, let me pause it, and we'll do the inner turn. Okay, I'm back. Let's try to do this really quickly. Here in the south, you can see Lyon and Hooker are now on the same screen. Hooker, I'm going to have assault Jackson. It looks like there's only a little militia in there, so we should take that next turn. Lyon is working his way through the swamps. He'll be across the Mississippi by next turn, but it's going to take him a long time to move here into the next region. And unfortunately, both of his supply wagons are getting low. So this is exactly what I was afraid of, but I'm not going to turn him back now. I'm going to keep pushing forward and hope Hooker will take Jackson and continue to move up and meet Lyon before his men starve too much. We'll see if I'm making a horrible mistake here, but what the heck? You know, it's just a game, and it'll be fun if it works. Here in Kentucky, we took Madison, so now I'm going to have everybody sit and rest through the winter. And here in the east, so there were no major battles. We chased people out of Lancaster and here in Cumberland. And now I wanted to attack Harrisburg, but nobody useful is activated for me this turn. So everybody's going to have to sit and wait. Maybe next turn we'll have activated Corps commanders and we'll be able to attack Harrisburg. Once this is cleaned up, we'll head towards New York. Let me pause it because one other thing happened. This turn we're finally able to choose all these options again, and I get to raise more money and more conscripts. So I'll do that, and I'm just going to raise a whole bunch of troops right now, and then we'll do the end turn once I'm done doing that. Alright guys, there were no battles that inner turn. We took Jackson, Mississippi, so that's a real big deal. Lion continues to work his way through the swamp. Anyway, I think I'll end this video now. It's probably the low point, I guess, of the videos we've done so far. We've lost New York City, and Harrisburg's a problem, but I think we're dealing with it. Hopefully next video we'll clean a whole bunch of these problems up and get things back on track. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.